Hey everyone, Sophia here. Guess what? I'm making a sewing video. I said I was gonna do sewing, okay? This video actually is being posted initially on Patreon, and then I am moving it. It's an early access on Patreon, and then I am moving it to YouTube a couple of weeks later. I made this. Do you remember this bag? This was part of the Sewers Club box that I reviewed. And I said I was gonna make the bag, and I did. So I did a whole video to show you how easy it was to make this bag. And I think it's super cute. It's a poolside crossover, not a crossbody. You can see the crossover right here. The handle goes from, or the strap goes from one to the other, and it crosses in diagonal. And it has a foam padding inside that makes it water resistant. And in the inside, it's got two little pockets right here for credit cards or whatever. So this is the kind of bag that you would carry when you're at the pool, and you would just carry it like this just to have your wallet and your phone, you know, so you don't feel like you have to carry a whole bunch of stuff. So I think it's really, really cute. And tell you what, it was easy to make. So I hope you enjoyed the video tutorial on how to make this bag. And I think that I could easily make it over as a tote bag, as a much larger bag, because the instructions were easy to follow and understand, and it was easy to make. And I gotta tell you, I think I did a really good job on the zipper. This is my second zipper, y'all. This is the second time I actually do a zipper, and the instructions were easy for me to understand. And you know that sometimes I'm kind of like, ugh. Anyway, so I filmed the tutorial obviously ahead of time. So when you see me again at the end of this video, I'll say goodbye. So today I'm going to use the Sewers Club kit that I had reviewed, and I'm going to make the bag. So let's see. And I said I was going to make this one. So I'm going to pull that out. So for this project, I need two fat quarters, which they provide in the kit. I have this one that's going to be the top of the bag. You can see the picture right here. And then the orange one is actually what you see as a light blue right here. And the inner part of the bag, the lining, is this melted butter color. And again, that kit provides you with really high quality fabric. So what I'm going to do first is iron all of my fabrics so that I can cut accurately. So I'm at the machine, and I'm going to take those two squares and I'm going to fold them in half like this. And at exactly 1/4 of an inch from the edges here, I'm going to stitch from one end to the other. So then I turn them right side out. And they need to be pressed. So that gives me two tabs like this, and what I need to do now is stitch a top stitch, which is almost like a 1/8 of an inch on both sides, here and here. So now that I got this little tab here, what I'm going to do is take one of my D-ring and insert my D-ring like this, and I'm going to align it and keep it folded. And in order to keep it folded, I'm just going to pin it like this. So now I have two tabs with a D-ring. I'm now taking the top fabric of the bag, one of my D-rings, and I'm going to place it right here. It's got to be an 1.5 inches. So let me make sure I got the right distance. Nope. So we're going to move that a little bit more here. Okay. And I'm going to pin all three together like this. So now I have my D-ring going up and 1.5 inches right here, and this is all three pieces put together. You can also baste if you want. So this is the piece I just did with the tab, and this is the bottom part of my bag. And I'm going to take this, flip it over like this, and I'm going to stitch from here to here at 1/4 inch. And it's giving me this, so now I can remove my pin, right, with a little tab coming out. You see that? How cool is this? I'm just going to press it real quick with the seam going down. So this is the front of the bag with the little tab right here on the left side. Now I'm taking my two longest straps and I'm going to place them right side to right side. Let me make sure the fabric is in the same order. No, because this is supposed to be aligned. So here we go. I'm going to place them on top of each other, and I'm going to sew at 1/4 inch right here on that end. So here we go, stitch line here, and I'm going to open that and press it to one side. So then what I'm going to do is take the fusible that they gave us, the glue is on this side, and I need to align it along one side of the band that I just made. Not centered, but aligned to one side. So it's basically going to look like this. And I'm cutting off excess here and here. And on the subject of fusible, I have my two sides here. I'm going to flip them over, and I'm taking the foam. The fusible is right here, and each piece needs to be fused like this on each side. Now remember, this is the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going back to the machine and I'm going to do a top stitch right here along the orange fabric. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to do another one right here along the blue fabric, catching the bottom part here of the D-ring. see how pretty is that? Okay, so what it does is that it's really holding this up. And this is looking really, really neat. Because it has the padding, it gives this little relief type on it. I really like this. How about that? How about that? I really like this. Hey, so far this is really easy to make. Okay, we got the front and the back. Okay, so now I have the front and the back. Right, so this is what my little bag is going to look like. I'm taking these that were a little bit shorter. I'm going to fold them in half. And just to, fold them in half right side to right side. And just to make it easy, I'm just going to give them a quick press. And I'm going to sew along the edges here from one side to the other, but I'm leaving about 2 inches right in the middle. And the reason why I'm leaving about 2 inches unsewn in the middle is so that I can flip it inside out. So this is one piece that I just put together. I'm putting it at the 1 inch mark here, and I'm gonna make a diagonal from one corner to the other right here. And what I'm going to do is sew directly on this line, and I do that on the other side as well, except that on the other side I'm going to go the other way. I'll go that way, and I'm going to sew right on the line, and then I'll cut the extra bulk, and we remove all that extra right here. And do the same thing right here. Okay, and then I'm going to go where my opening is, and I'm going to flip it over. And once it's been pulled inside out and pressed, this is what it looks like. And it still has the opening right here, but you got to press it. So that gives you one strap. And that little strap, by the way, is going to be used right here as a decorative ribbon on the side of the purse. So what I'm going to do now is go to the machine, and I'm going to top stitch all around it at about a little bit under 1/4 inch all around. And that's going to catch the opening right here. So I just go all around, follow the shape, basically close it off and finish it off on the sides. This is what it looks like once it's completed. I could probably have done it a little bit closer to the edge, but that's fine. So I'm going to do the other one and move on. And here's the second one, and you can see that I did it a little bit closer to the edge on this one than this. That's alright. So now I'm going to take care of the long straps. If you remember, when I did the long straps, I put the fusible on the edge of one side and left another side here. So what I'm going to do is fold them in half on right side to right side, and I'm going to stitch all along the whole length. I'm not leaving an empty space on that one. And that ends up giving you this big long strap. And what I'm going to do is do a top stitch on both sides, not here on the width, but on the length on both sides. And this is what it looks like. So now I have a long strap that's 34.5 with a top stitch on both sides of the strap. And again, I left this one here open and unsewn. So the next step, it looks like I'm doing the lining. Remember I have those two pieces here. That's going to be the right side and left side. And then I have this one piece right here. I'm going to fold it in half. Like this. And it's the beginning of a pocket. And I'm going to sew from here to here and here to here. Let's see. How much do I need to leave? Alright, so from here to here, I stop and then I sew here and here and here and here, but not on the folded edge. Actually, they call it a card pocket. It's big enough for a credit card, I guess. I'm going to cut this corner a little bit so I don't have bulk. Do the same thing here, just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to turn the whole thing inside out. So this is one side and it's 10 inches, and what I'm going to do is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to put the middle of my pocket right here, and I'm going to drop it at 2 inches, and that's going to be right here. And now what I got to do is sew from here all around and then right in the middle. And actually for the middle part, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a mark so that I know where the middle is. Right here. And here's my little card pocket. Okay, let me show you as a close-up so you can see the middle part right here and how I did all the edges except the top part here. All right. Next step. Moving on to zipper. Alright, so they want a 9-inch zipper, so what I did was cut it down a little bit. Not by much. It's actually a little bit over 9 inches. Alright, so we're taking those tabs, putting this tab right here, right side down. I'm going to pin it so that I know it doesn't move. And I'm particularly doing that on the other side because on the other side I'm going to leave the zipper open a little bit so that it's not in the way. And I'm putting my tab right here and I'm pinning this together so that it doesn't shift. Okay, what I'm going to do is do a 1/2 inch, not a 1/4 inch, across from here to here. Same thing on this side. Oop, that's my iron. From here to here at a 1/2 inch, and then I'll fold it open and press it. Okay, so here's my tab with my 1/2 inch right here, and then I folded it open and pressed it. And on the other side I did the same thing, so now I have a zipper that doesn't go all the way, it's stuck. Okay, pretty neat. So now what I'm going to do is flip this over like this, and I'm going to take this tab, I'm going to fold it in half over itself. Let me mark that with my finger and fold it again like this. And I'm going to sew across right here to secure it in place, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is what it gives us, like this. So when I unzip, it's really holding it, and same thing on the other side. So let's start assembling. I'm taking my zipper, I'm going to align it like this. I'm going to pin it. It's only because I don't want the zipper to move. And the zipper is face down, by the way. You see that, right? Where I have the little tab right here. Okay, so that's pinned and that's aligned right here at the top. I'm then going to take that one piece of the pocket and I'm going to put it right side to right side like this. So I have the right side facing this and this sandwich in between. And I'm going to sew across from here to here, 1/4 of an inch, to secure the zipper to the liner and the top of the bag. So now I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to open this, right, and pull my lining down. I'm going to take my bag, the other side. I'm going to put it right side to right side. So I'm going to align them so that the top of my zipper matches the top of the bag right here. Right? Same thing, I'm going to pin it right here. And I'm taking my other piece of lining, I'm going to align it right here, and I'm going to sew from one side to the other at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so my 1/4 of an inch is right here. Let's unfold this and see what it looks like. So now I got a zipper right in between. Pretty cool. Okay, let me iron everything and then we'll see what the next step is. I am back and it's actually day 3 for me. So I'm going to show you how to do the strap. So I'm taking my very long one, which by the way took me forever to turn inside out. But that's alright. And I'm inserting it this way. And I'm giving it about an inch, right? Not too much. And then I'm closing it onto itself like this. And then I'm just gonna bring it up like this and taking a pin, just going to pin it. We're not doing anything yet. Then I'm taking the little ones. Remember I made those little ones here? Now this is the front and I want to get the one, if you remember I did one where it was a little bit too wide for the stitch, and then this one was a little bit narrower. So that's the front of my bag, because you remember I didn't follow the directions, so that's the front of the bag. So I'm taking this one and what I'm going to do is place it this way at a diagonal over the G-ring. And I'm going to mark right here with my nail a line, and then I'm going to pull it down a little bit, and then I'm going to take this and fold it on that line like this. Alright, so that's going to be my, let me pull out a little bit, that's going to be my little ribbon, whatever you want to call it, for decor. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit because I think it's just a tiny bit too low. I'm going to reopen it. I know that my line is right here, and I'm just going to mark it. Let's see, I'm going to do it right here. That needs to get pressed anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to pin this so it doesn't move. And on the machine I'm going to sew right here a straight line, and then I'll flip this over and I will press it. And done. Not too bad. I wish this was a little bit straighter, so I'll have to do better on the next one. I used the zipper foot, by the way, and made it a little bit easier. Okay, next step. So the next step is pretty much the same thing, but I have to place the strap. So I'm going up, I'm going down, and then I'm going under like this, making a Z. All right, and then this goes in this way. Pin this. Okay, and right over here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to place this one this way, like this. I'm going to mark it right here, and this goes down right here. Okay, so that's done. I'm a little disappointed I can't get this to move over, but you know what else gonna have to do? Progress, not perfection, right? Okay, next step. The next step is a top stitch right here on both sides of the zipper. So we gotta make sure we keep that really nice and straight. It's just to finish it up. So let's go to the machine and do that. And here we go. See it? All right, let me do the other side. So now I'm ready to assemble or close the bag. I'm going to open my zipper. I'm going to take my straps and I'm going to throw them in there and let them hang on the outside of the bag because I don't want to catch any of that stuff when I'm sewing. Okay, and once that's done, I'm going to bring this way and bring this one this way. All right, so again, this got to stay in here. And what I'm going to do is sew all around like this. So I'm going to sew all around, catching the two linings together, catching this together, but on top here of the lining, I'm going to leave a good 4 inches, something like that, as an opening so that I can flip the whole thing inside out. I'm going to pin those because I can see how they're going to start moving around as I'm sewing. And actually, I'm going to start on the lining after the opening, so that way I can go back and leave the opening. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, this is where I'm starting. Couple forward, couple backward, and off we go, 1/4 inch. Now I'm taking my lining and I'm just going to go ahead and close off my little hole and put the lining back in. Okay, like this. So this is what the top looks like, and I'd say it's pretty good. Look at that. It's nice and square on both sides. It opens, of course. Here's the inside and my two little pocket here for cards. Pretty neat. Look at that little pouch. Okay, the next step I'm sure has to do with the strap, and I gotta figure out what they want us to do with it. The final step is the strap. So there's two options here. You can do what I'm going to do, because I want the straps to be a little bit looser, is to just do two lines of stitches, one here and one here, and that's going to catch the tab that's in the back. Or before you assemble the whole bag, you're going to put this flat right here, and you're going to do the same thing, catching the blue and the strap. And what it's going to do is that it's going to keep the strap attached to the bag. I want mine to be a little bit loose because I like my bag to be able to move and not feel all stiff. So I'm going to do two lines here and here, and I'll be right back. And here it is with my two little stitch line here. Now I'm changing the design, which means that I have the raw side of the strap right here. The reason why they want you to do it against the blue and actually sew it this way so that you don't see the back. I personally don't care because I'm not gonna have a lot of use out of this little bag. It's cute, but that's not something that I'm going to use every day. I may use it a couple of times and that would be it. I just wanted to practice. So here is my little bag. Ta-da! Okay, so I have to go through places where I messed up, all right? First of all, I didn't realize, and this is where the lack of experience with sewing comes in, and you would think as somebody who quilts, I would know that, right? Directional fabric, I messed that up again. I have all the little drops going down, which makes sense here on the front of the bag, but look, in the back, they're going sideways. So in hurricane season here on the side, but the swimmers are correct. Another thing that I didn't do right, these were supposed to be sewn directly onto the blue. I did the bag, I assembled the bag before I placed those, and it was too late for me to place them. I could have done it by hand, but you know, whatever. So mine are movable when they're technically supposed to be straight. And when you do that, it would be okay if I had finished off this part here that's hidden. It's in the back of it. So yeah, that's not a finished look. What else? My top stitch is good here. It's pretty much very nice even and along the edges, but on those ribbons I was way off. So little things like this, it doesn't bother me, but it will show that it's handmade. Basically. Other than that, I think the purse itself is cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to make it a step-by-step without being super long and boring. Again, I didn't give you the measurements because that's copyrighted, but I hope I gave you the incentive to try to make one on your own, bigger if you want to. It's not that complicated, and you don't even have to put that special foam in it. You can put just regular padding, you know, like batting that you would find at the at Joann or anywhere else, and you can do all sorts of things. Like with something a little bit bigger, you could keep it that way here with the top stitch, and then you could quilt, do like a crisscross on the bottom part of the bag, and then you could also do a flat bottom. So it's the basics of the pouch. And if you don't want the handle, you can not place the handle, and now you have a great travel pouch to put all of your electronics, for instance, right? That would be a good way of using this, like a, or actually the Kindle fits in this, so that would be a nice padded bag for a Kindle. So I hope you enjoyed the little tutorial on how to make this little bag. I thought it was fun to make. It didn't take too long, and it's kind of cute. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at My Great Challenge, and Microwave Challenge gift on Etsy for channel merch, Frenchie and Tubby on Etsy for vintage finds, and then you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/Microwave Challenge for behind the scene and more intimate and exclusive content. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye!